Hello and welcome to the Mod Spotlight for a mod called Rediscovered. This is a mod that's adding back a lot of stuff that was added sort of in the very early time of Minecraft, probably 2009 to 2011. I've done a little bit of research. I've looked at the mentioned features for Java, and a lot of this is sort of stuff that was said in the early years by Notch or by Jeb. And let's just start. We'll start with the mobs. Let's just have a look at the mobs. These are obviously really early in dev. Looks like they're just taking the image. I don't know if ever these will get animated more, but these obviously, if you know about Minecraft, you know that these are kind of like. Okay, let's try Black Steve again here. Okay, I think he just can't be spawned in regular mode, in peaceful. And we've got Beast Boy here as well. So obviously these were added very early on in dev. Okay, so we also have this cherry sapling. So this was something which was mentioned by Jeb, I believe, in about 2010. I'm not going to get all the dates right because I've just read a load of stuff. So this was something which Jeb said he would add for, I think, the Japanese market. Okay, so one of the bigger features is something that Notch said about adding with the sky dimension, because originally the nether was supposed to be hell and the sky dimension was supposed to be heaven. This way of doing it, I'm not entirely sure. I can sort of see there was a reference that apparently, I think Notch told like a Swedish website that the idea was to have a dream, similar to how witchery works, right? With the dream catcher and all that stuff. So, so I think it was something like this. So let's have a look and see this dimension. So that's pretty cool. At least it's like, I think in terms of just a mod, it's kind of cool that there's like a whole dimension to it, rather than just a set of items. That's always handy. Okay, and you get a little spawn room as well. Okay, that's pretty cool. So yeah, this is a sky dimension. I thought clouds is, yeah, it's above the clouds. That's been, I think there was actually, I think there's no weather as well, similar to the nether. So another thing to mention as well while here is that if you do want to play with this mod, there is actually, yeah, I've got this resource pack, ML program. It's on Curse at the moment anyway, and so we can take a look at this. So have a look. Yeah, it looks more familiar now, right? Looks like a pretty. There's even transparency on the leaves. That's kind of interesting. But anyway, so yeah, I believe that it may not be added yet from the looks of it. But if we get zombie pigmen, we should be able to actually trade with them in this version. Okay, so you can see that Rediscovered adds some new zombie pigmen. We've got the pigmen spawn, the melee pigmen, and the range pigmen. So yeah, you can see like the pigmen you can actually trade. This is also added Ruby. This was something about, I think, color blindness. When Redstone got added, it was going to be Ruby or something like that. So there's it's basically implementing the newer system of trading but you can trade with pigmen now. And there are these other types of pigmen as well. So I'm not sure exactly. Okay, they just do these ones trade as well? These ones look like they're hostile mobs. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go back and take a look and see what else we've got. Lavender Wall. So yeah, this one I didn't research, but obviously it looks like there were various other colours that were mooted, I suppose. These don't have any recipes yet from the looks. Oh yeah, they do. Do they? No. You can make the carpet, but yeah, these I can imagine. You can imagine what these recipes might be like. Spikes also talked about. Cherry wood, ruby. Originally, the first type of slab was this one, right? The dirt slab. So this is actually the original slab in the game. Obviously, it doesn't exist at all, but it was the original slab in the game. One of the things also which is quite funny is that because fish has now been renamed, like it's like fish is now a thing, which is like an old school feature. Scarecrow, there was something about that Jeb was getting everyone to look at the Scarecrow around his computer or something like that. Gears, I didn't look up too much. Was this really a thing? I guess probably they thought of doing something like this. I wonder if this actually works though. Okay, so let's get a jukebox. Just check on this disc. Yeah, things like Rose and how like the red dragon egg. This is an interesting one. It was supposedly like Jeb has got like a whole theory about how he's going to use endermites and that the dragon egg is going to be a spawner for the red dragon. And this is something which is also kind of, seen. The empty rose bush. Kind of an interesting one. Kind of reminds me of berries, the implementation that has been done there. Kind of like stalactites there. That's kind of cool. I don't know if that's... What is this up here? Oh, this is an actual... This is... Okay, so this is actually proper world gen. Okay, I'm glad I saw this because I would have missed this otherwise. So there's literally a village with pigmen and the old characters in here. That's pretty neat, actually. So yeah. Now the other thing is, are these going to be actual fish? So that's actually the original fish spawned as an entity, because obviously there are. From what I said, there's no original fish, right? Bucket of fish. So this is obviously like preceding before this was like before this came to be, right? The other, so we have chairs as well. Yeah, I guess the idea originally was that the actual quiver would be on the chest plate. It also looks like there's a sort of a load of chairs and tables as well. These are pretty, yeah. I mean, you can imagine what they look. They're pretty neat, actually, because they actually seem to, if you look at, compare them to the size of like a block, they actually would fit in really well. There's also like this studded armor. I guess this was intended to be an upgrade for chainmail. Or maybe this was a possibility that you could actually dye it. A way to dye like better armor than leather. Because that was always seemed like a missed opportunity, right? You can only dye leather armor when it'd be much better to dye armor that you're actually going to use. But yeah, just an interesting mod though, adding like older stuff into the game. A lot of cherry blocks here, as you might imagine. And I think we're just going to leave it there. Plate as well. What's plate made out of? Not. I do wonder about this quiver though, right? Because one of the things that actually... Yeah, the final thing to talk about is actually about the quiver. I don't know why I'm changing the time of day, it makes no difference. Because there is supposedly, I was reading up on this, apparently there is actually a thing that may be added called the purple arrow, and that was actually the original skeleton arrow, was called the purple arrow. So if I just get a bow and some arrows, I wonder if they can sort of go into the quiver. Can you like do something like this with them? No. I'm generally not sure. Like if we just get the quiver on its own, I'm just going to forget about that noise for a minute. Can we load up the things? I'm not entirely sure how this might work. Can this go in this? Oh, that's weird. Why can I shoot so fast? That's certainly not normal behaviour. What was there something about the zombie horse as well? I think there may be like more to this than meets the eye. I just want to check that this isn't... No. Okay, so when you have the quiver on, when you have a diamond chest plate with a quiver, yeah. Well, okay, I was literally about to end the video and then I found like by far the best feature. And some of you will never even know because you wouldn't have made it this far. So if you did, thanks a lot. Thanks for watching.